Hello everyone, I'm Dr. John Oluwole. I'm a specialist neurologist. A neurologist is that doctor who looks after the brain, the spinal cord, and all the components of the nervous system. I'm making this video rather late because we know that the third week of March every year is dedicated to brain awareness. It's trying to sensitize people all over the world, to take interest in the brain, to engage in research about the brain for us to better understand the brain, because the brain is such a fascinating, organ. So what I tend to do to contribute my quota, because it's better late than never, so that Brain Awareness Week is to, put up like a fun game for you to learn about the functions of the brain. So today I'm going to, teach you a game that you can play with your spouse, play with your children, play with your friends, and I'm sure you're going to really enjoy the game. It teaches you about this fascinating organ, which is the brain. So I've got in front of me like a model of the brain, just to do a quick introduction to what the brain looks like, for some of you haven't seen it before. So this is how the brain, looks like. So from this, perhaps I would say from this orange part, forward up to the red part here is what we call the frontal lobe of the brain. So the brain has got lobes. So we've got about 4 lobes, the frontal lobe of the brain. And from this blue part to about this blue part is what we call the parietal lobe, okay? And then this back part, this I think it's looking yellowish here, but it's actually bluish here. This blue part is what we call the occipital lobe. So once again, this is the frontal lobe, this is the parietal lobe here, and this is the occipital lobe. And here we call this place the temporal lobe. So in brief, the frontal lobe is the seat of, thinking, is the seat of making judgments, making rational decisions, planning, organizing, behavior, control. This is basically what makes us who we are, the frontal part of the brain. And then we've got the parietal lobe of the brain. The parietal lobe actually is that part of the brain that, helps us to feel, physical sensations or bodily sensations. Like somebody touched my skin, I can feel it. I can feel it stroking the skin. So this is where that comes to. And the brain tends to function in a crisscross manner. And that's why, for example, this is my right hand. If I move my right hand, it's controlled by the left part of the brain. So I need to mention as well, the frontal lobe is that part of the brain that controls movement. So if I feel sensation on the left arm, of course, it's the sensation of the left arm is controlled by the right, parietal lobe. And then the occipital lobe, which is the back part here, this gentleman here is what controls vision. So remember, my doctor once asked me why, despite having 2 eyes, we see only one image of everything. And I said, the 2 eyes perceive separately, but the brain fuses the image into one. And that's the function of this gentleman here. That's the occipital lobe. And then we've got the temporal lobe, this very blue, deep blue part here. That's the temporal lobe. The temporal lobe is that part of the brain that helps us to control hearing, interpreting sound, interpreting voices and all of that, and also contributes to memory. So these are the various parts of the brain and what they do. So today I want to create a fun game that you're going to enjoy to learn about the parietal lobe, and that's the part of the brain that controls feeling. So let's bring on the game. Let the game begin. Say hi. So we just want to create this fun brain game. I'm going to write a number on your hand, okay, with your eyes closed. and you're going to guess what that number is. It could be a number, it could be an alphabet, it could be anything, okay? And then we're going to switch turns, okay? So we're going to see if your parietal lobe is working properly.
Okay.
Okay. All right, can you stretch your palm out? Close your eyes. Tell me what I've written on your palm.
4.
Wow, okay, very good. And then eyes closed still. Tell me what that is.
5.
Oh, lovely. Okay, so it's my turn. Okay, right, you can have this. Okay. So let me see if my parietal lobe is working properly. That looks like an S.
Okay.
All right. That feels like an 8. Oh, lovely. So guys, this is what we call graphesthesia. So graphesthesia is that phenomenon in which you're able to detect a letter or a symbol that's written on you without looking at it. So that's a function of the parietal lobe, and I believe by now you know what your parietal lobe is. So have some fun checking your friends' parietal lobe function by checking the the graphesthesia function. And if any of them does not know what you've written, that's a graphesthesia, and they might need to see the neurologist. Something might be wrong with their parietal. Are you ready for the game?
Yes.
Take off your gloves. So we'll receive your parietal lobe function is intact. Okay, so,
Yeah.
so you're gonna close your eyes and I'll write a letter or a number on your palm, and you're gonna guess what that number is without looking at it. Okay?
I have to close my eyes and do it.
Yes. So you close your eyes. I'm gonna write something on your palm,
Yeah.
and you tell me what it is without looking at it.
Yes.
Okay. Say
0.
okay. And
It's letter or
yeah, you tell me
P.
what it, okay, lovely. So that's cool. So your graphesthesia function is working well. So your parietal lobe is okay. You know, it's brain awareness week.
Yes.
We're teaching people about the brain and the various functions. So your parietal lobe is intact. So guys, go ahead, have fun, enjoy it. But you don't have to use a marker. You can actually use your fingers to write, but don't use a pen because a pen can actually be ticklish. So I just use the marker so you can see what I'm writing. So you can use your palm, you can use anything else. All right, guys, enjoy. Bye.
Thank you.